So pleased to be joined now by the head coach of the Hoosiers, Kevin Wilson. Coach, we came here every year in the past and we said, how do you make a bowl game? How do you get there? How do you break through? You did it last year. So now what's the next step for this program? How do you go from being a team that reached that goal to becoming a consistent bowl contender and consistent winner?
Consistency. We've been competitive. We just haven't been able to do it week after week. Played a lot of good football during the course of a game, but not able to finish. And it's not necessarily choking, but just making the play. A lot of confidence. Not confidence, a little bit more of true belief. Because you can have confidence, sometimes maybe it's not always positive. So a little bit more self-worth. We're still short, though, of where we should be. And so last year was more positive, but you look at it, we let a few get away. It's never going to be perfect, but our team's more talented. It's more deep, and we're making strides. And it'll be a tough challenge. It's a tough schedule. It's a tough job, but we're going to work hard to be a tough team. And as you saw us practice today, I want us to be tougher. We still got to, be a better line of scrimmage team, tackling team, taking care of the ball team. But encouraged with the talent, the bodies, the work, a lot of work to do. But, we'll see if we can be more consistent this year.
You hired Tom Allen as your defensive coordinator. Was it his personality, his leadership, or was it the scheme that attracted you most to him?
Well, and I made a comment, which is true. I heard about him, heard he was doing awfully well. I knew he had ties to the state. That was okay, but that wasn't the main thing. It was I heard he was doing a dynamic job at South Florida and what his background was. And when I met him, I was intrigued. And when I went to visit with him personally at his home, right before one of the recruiting weekends on a Thursday, coming off the coaching convention where I talked to him just a few minutes, and we talked for a couple, 3 hours, and it was just like, how do you get guys to buy in, and what's your thought process? And then I finally said, what do you run? And it's a different defense, but not radically different. Maybe just some slight tweaks of coverages. But to me, our thing defensively has been creating a confidence, an attitude, a standard of playing hard consistently, trusting each other so that you can play as a unit, and you're where you're supposed to be, and your eyes are where you're supposed to be. And his leadership skills were the most dynamic thing. And like I say, I'm very pleased with him being here.
Coach, what do you think about your quarterback battle to this point? Is it going the way you want it to go, or are you looking to name a guy soon?
Hopefully soon, and I haven't thought about a date. I was just trying to see enough work, and in fairness to all the guys, but it's not naming a guy. I still think we're going to need more than one. I mean, every year, we've got several guys at several positions play. There'll be a guy that's going to go out there first. That hopefully maybe gets done here within the week or so. But I'm kind of waiting to see how the team, do they rally around a guy and respond? Does that kid take care of the ball? So I'm kind of watching how the quarterbacks interact with their teammates. And we're looking a little bit of performance. And we're looking, is he an extension of what we're trying to do? Can we trust him? And because we put the game in his hand. The game's called football. Every play, he's got that football in his hand. He's carrying the game. So, we're looking for a little confidence there with self-trust with coaches. But I really want all of them to get better because I believe we're going to need 2 or 3 that we can play not just competitive ball, but consistent ball. And we're going to need a couple of those guys to get better.
Give us a rundown on the D-line for this season and for the future, the depth, the youth, and where you think it is right now.
Well, we're recruiting that position awfully hard on numbers. That's a long time to signing day, and does that stay as is? But we do feel that some of our better players have left from a year ago and are upperclassmen older. I think, Coach, we're too deep with guys we're going to play with. I think you need about 10. I think you need 5 guys inside and 5 guys on the edge. Right now we're at 8. We're needing Alan Stallings, who just got here, or Jerome Johnson, a couple young guys to come through. Jameers Bolin is a transfer from Cincinnati, a big 310, 15-pound guy. Jacob Robinson's doing well. You didn't see Robert McCray today. That's been an athletic guy on the edge for us. Brandon Wilson's improving. Hal Sykes, Greg Gooch. We've got some numbers there. Nate Hoff inside, Ralph Green inside. We're at 8, I think we can play with. For a Big Ten schedule of 12 games, 13 weeks of football, I think we need 10, and we need a few more guys to come through there.
You talked about quarterback play, but what are some of the other goals? Obviously, you want to play well at that position, but from an offensive standpoint overall, what do you have to do to continue to get better?
Well, to me, you start it over every year. We pop the pads. You got to start the physical toughness over the pad level, the line score. We try to stay off the ground. Stay off the ground, you play high. You still got to play with pad level. You still got to tackle. You got to get behind your back, pads. Tight end position, I think, is going to be okay. We got 3 kids now that are 258, 260, 269. So we got some big bodies with Danny Friend, Ian Thomas, our JC guy, Austin Dorris, Jordan Fuchs. We got some depth at tight end. O-line, we've got some depth. I think we might can be a team that can play a little bit more ball control even if we're doing some no-huddle stuff, because I like a couple of those big backs. You saw Tyler Natee at 280 pounds today. I think he's going to be a player. Clyde Newton coming over. And we got a 1,000-yard kid with Devine and Majette. We've got some depth at running back that maybe that can take some stress off. We're still going to have to do run-pass combos. They can always load the box. We've got some great players in the perimeter with Simi, Ricky, Mitchell, Ja'Shawn Harris, Nick Westbrook. We got players in the perimeter. But I think the physicalness of our team, and even though we're a spread team, we've prided ourselves the last few years of being a very good running football team. And if we run the ball and the defense picks up, we can play a little bit more traditional Big Ten football and have a chance to be winning, have a winning season.
To that point of running the ball, what does it mean to have Dan Feeney anchoring that offensive line?
Dan is pictures worth thousands of words in coaching. And he does more little things right. Yesterday, one of our defensive coaches said the most impressive thing in practice was we were doing the last play pursuit to the ball, and the whole defense was running, and Dan Feeney was with his guy blocking him the whole way as the guy ran to the ball for 30 seconds. He's a great practice player, great attitude player, one of the best players I've ever coached. He'll be one of the all-time greats, and again, I think he's one of the best linemen in our conference and country.
Head coach of the Hoosiers, Kevin Wilson. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, man.